Today we're going to be watching a video by Kameron, How Streamers Ruined Gaming. This is a video that I've been seeing gain traction for a long time now. I have not seen it personally. I threw it into my Reacts soon playlist, and finally I'm getting around to it. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. I'm excited to watch this because this video got a lot of views, and it's been a common thing within the gaming community now that streamers did in fact ruin gaming. I do have mixed feelings on that, so that's why we're going to watch this video today. I'd love to know what you guys think about it down below. Thanks for coming.
Did streamers really ruin gaming, or are you just trash? In this video, I'm going to talk about gaming before streaming was popular, and gaming after streaming became popular, and by the end of this video, you'll have an answer on if streaming really ruined gaming or not. Now, if you—
Interesting. Okay, yeah, and again, I have mixed feelings on this personally, and it is important to note that I'm 26 years old. I have been growing up with games. I've been here since multiplayer games in general and live service games have really started picking up steam. Been playing games my whole life, so I think I do have a good say on this as well.
A few months ago, I was actually scrolling through Twitter, and I saw this tweet right here that says, "Dominating blue-collar workers in BattleBit." If you don't know what BattleBit is, well, it's basically like Battlefield and Roblox, and this is pretty much the whole clip. Yeah, pretty much that guy is just straight up dominating people. Like that's pretty much it. And I saw—
It's funny seeing those memes nowadays where it's like, hey, we were killing the adults back then and now we are the adults. It's just I've fallen into that category a little bit, but I don't relate to the sadness because I still am deeply content with life and I still have fun with video games in general.
A quote tweet that said, "Esports ruined casual gaming." Now, I know the whole title of this video is like something along the lines of how streamers ruined gaming, but I'm gonna put streamers and esports kind of in the same category. I say that because with streaming, you kind of gotta either be good at a game or funny, and with esports, you gotta be good at a game. So I'm gonna put them both together because they're pretty similar.
Yeah, that's fair. I have no issue with that at all,
if I do say so myself. But to really understand this, we got to go all the way back to 2018, the Fortnite boom. Before Fortnite was this cringe cash grab that pretty much just preyed on little kids for money. It was a game—
Yeah, that's a little— I get where people are coming from when they talk about that, but at the end of the day, Fortnite does need to make its money, but that's a conversation for another time.
Game that nobody truly knew how to play, and everyone had fun with it. I mean, back in 2018, every single human being was talking about Fortnite. I mean, back then, you had Fortnite meme pages. Every single human being was posting their wins. People were doing emotes IRL.
Fortnite move! Oh, do it again. Fortnite move, bitch!
I've never seen that. That's actually really solid.
I mean, that's how we got the infamous ninja clip.
Everyone wants to get it. Come on, baby. Show me what you got. Show me what— just move. If you got movement.
I don't think that video will ever not make me cringe. Could you imagine, dude? Like, oh, that's rough.
And since Fortnite was so popular, one thing that also became popular because of Fortnite was streaming. Back then, Twitch was like pretty niche, but I'd say that Fortnite made Twitch more mainstream. And you may be asking, why did people go to Twitch and not YouTube? Well, the thing about YouTube is that a lot of YouTube videos are edited, and some people, they may be good on YouTube, but it's like on Twitch. Twitch is live, Twitch is raw. So if you—
Yeah, now it's all changing though. YouTube has really stepped up their game with not only recommendations, but just their live content in general. So it did make sense for a lot of people to go to Twitch back then.
Lose, like people are gonna see you lose, and if you win, people are gonna see you win. And that's why Twitch was so popular, because you could see high-level gameplay in real time. To determine if somebody was truly good, all you had to do was just watch them on Twitch. And with Twitch becoming so popular, some streamers that a bunch of people were watching back then was people like Myth, Ninja, Dr. Lupo, Nick Mercs. The whole Ninja versus Myth argument was like the biggest topic in school.
Yeah, I remember that. I even had people at work talking about that. It was really weird. Like, it's always strange to me how Fortnite did just encapsulate the entire world, and I do really miss that. I know that people like to talk about OG Fortnite, and that happened again, but I don't think that OG Fortnite had nearly the same effect as like true OG Fortnite did, because when OG Fortnite returned, I knew a bunch of people that came back to the game, but it was a special time. I just find it so interesting still to even this day how much Fortnite took over the world.
I remember I was back in like freaking 10th grade and we were arguing at lunch tables talking about if Myth or Ninja was better. I'm not gonna lie, back then I was Team Myth. But with
you know, what's wrong with being Team Myth, man? I like Myth. I still watch Myth from time to time, man. Like I there's nothing wrong with being Team Myth there.
All those popular streamers and pro players being in the limelight, that made more people want to be a pro player / streamer. ever. I mean, did y'all see how some of these Fortnite teams were getting down? Bro, I'm telling you, if I had to crank a few 90s to be a freaking Fortnite pro back then, I probably would. And that's exactly where the downfall of gaming happened. Everyone started focusing on the money you can make from gaming rather than the fun.
But I've always kind of disagreed with this because, first of all, like, the fun came from everybody sucking. In every game ever, people suck, like, when the game first comes out. And now that's changing just a little bit. But even then, like, that time is short-lived. It's just the only reason people are really focused on Fortnite is because, again, it took over the world. And it was such a special time for so many people. So people really cling to the OG days of Fortnite. But the vast majority of people just play as they do. Like, I always sit back and have this argument with people where it's like, do you not try to win the game? The more you play a game, the better you'll become. I think that the number of, like, kids people talk about that are just looking to make it into the streaming world, I think that number is so, like, overinflated in conversation, because how many people, like, realistically, how many people around you do you know that are actually, like, trying to become a pro player? But how many people do you know that actually just play video games? Everybody's still casual. People just get better as time goes on. So I've always disagreed with this.
From gaming. Fortnite used to be this game where you try to win by doing these creative strats, like building a sky base, building a huge metal base, or maybe even camping in a bush. But then it turned into this huge sweat fest when people saw that you could make abnormal amounts of money from this game.
No, it wasn't because of that. It was because people just evolve as the game goes on. People get better the more that they play the games. As soon as they figure out that the best way to kill somebody is to ramp rush, that's the way that you're going to do it. Why wouldn't you? Like, yeah, I still have fun from time to time just sitting in a bush, but now everybody knows about the bush strategy, and you'll be picked out of a bush. Back when Fortnite first came out, the reason you could get away with that is because nobody really knew about it.
Back then, if you shot at a dude, they would probably start shooting at you back, like they wouldn't even build. But now, if you shoot at somebody in Fortnite, they're building a whole freaking skyscraper hotel with Wi-Fi. It's actually wild.
No, you're right in saying that, but it's not because people are trying to become content creators. It's not because people are trying to stream it on Twitch. It's just people get better.
Let me say this right now. I do also say that that's kind of just time. Like, with time, people get better. But my point is that everyone's playing games to be the best rather than to just have fun with their boys. Everyone is playing to be watched on Twitch or watched on YouTube.
People have always done that, though. People have always wanted to be the best that they could be at games. They're not like sitting down and, yeah, people even did just sit back down and practice. But I think that is so, like, again, it's over exaggerated, the amount of people that are sitting down and doing that. Like, people, no matter who they are, no matter how much they suck at the game, everybody crying about games being too sweaty now, they try their hardest to win games. It's not, I refuse to believe that anybody sits back and goes, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna half-ass it against this guy. No, you try to win. People are just better than you.
I mean, you ever play a game and you get killed by somebody with a TTV gamer tag and you go to their Twitch and they're not streaming at all? They're just sweating just to sweat. Like, everyone is just playing for that top spot, because in that top spot, you can make content out of it, and with that content comes a whole lot of money.
Now that happens, that certainly happens. How many times have you been killed by somebody with a TTV in their name? But compare that to the actual number of people that are in your game.
If you're playing like Farming Simulator and you're a pro, I don't really think you make a lot of money from like pro Farming Simulator, but I don't know. I might become a Farming Simulator pro. You never know. Bars. But yeah, everyone's pretty much playing to be watched. I remember back then, games wouldn't really get sweaty until like 2 or 3 weeks after release. But now, games are sweaty off the rip. It can be 5 days away from Call of Duty coming out, and you already got a dude making a video saying, best class setup 2023, MW3. And it's like, bro, the game hasn't even released. It can be 2 weeks before 2K comes out, and a dude already has the best build. It makes
now this I do agree with. This absolutely happens, and that does give people an advantage right off the bat, and it comes from people actually wanting to be better, which again, there's nothing really wrong with. I'm not saying that he's saying that. It also just comes with people being interested in the game in general, and YouTube videos about gaming weren't nearly as popular and mainstream as it is now.
Makes no sense. And when the game comes out, people are only going to play the meta, because when you only play the meta, you can win more. And when you win more, you can get up to that top rank. And when you get up to that top rank, you can stream, create content from it. More people are going to watch you because you're up high on the leaderboard.
That's where I disagree with it, though. People will always try to be better. People will always try to use whatever the meta is, but not everybody's just trying to become a content creator.
And then the cycle just continues and continues and continues. And now everyone's just playing the same because everyone's just trying to be the best to be able to stream it / be watched. Back then, you would play games for the fun because there was really no money involved. But now it's like every single human being is trying to become the top streamer, and it's like, bro, like, where's the fun in that? Back then, gaming tournaments were giving out speckles. I'm telling you, if you won a gaming tournament for like freaking Mortal Kombat or Halo or something like that, you were probably going to get 50 cents in a Big Mac. But now,
but people still put the same amount of effort in. The people who really wanted to be good at the game are putting in the effort to be really good at the game. Those people always existed, and that number, I would say, barely inflated as time goes on.
If you win a freaking Fortnite tournament or you just win a freaking Call of Duty tournament, dog, you're honestly set. You can buy your mom a freaking mansion. People are getting millions from tournaments. I mean, look at Booga, bro. Didn't he won like 3 million, I'm pretty sure, off of Fortnite? That is wild. That is insane money. Another thing about gaming after streaming is that games that aren't even sweaty are becoming sweaty. For example, Fall Guys. I remember back in 2020, every single human being was playing Fall Guys during quarantine, and with everybody playing Fall Guys, TikTok got a hold of that. And I remember scrolling through TikTok one day, and I saw this one dude making videos of the best strats on certain maps on Fall Guys.
That's a very good point, and it's just people's drive to win. Like, you could have the casual games, but oh, I'm sorry, I just realized my face cam's covering it. It says fastest slime climb route. People always look to win. If you're playing Fall Guys with just like 4 of your friends on your own map, I don't even know if you could do that at Fall Guys, then people would sit back and have fun. But I don't understand this argument where people aren't supposed to try. If somebody comes across a fastest slime climb route and they know about it, why would they not use it? Oh, I'm going to take the slow route. Give everybody a fair shot.
And I just thought to myself, what do you gain from being a sweat in Fall Guys? What do you gain? Like, I understand you're trying to show people how to win and stuff, but I feel like the reason why Fall Guys was so fun was because nobody was making strats or anything. People were just hopping in, having fun, just playing like headless chickens, you know?
Yeah, that's the fun of it, though. Like, just like Fortnite in its infancy, just like any game in its infancy, when nobody knows what they're doing, that's when the game seems to be the most fun. That's when you create those memories of an early game that you would always cherish with your friends.
I feel like games die out quicker when you're making all these strats and stuff on how to win, when it's not even like, obviously, yes, the goal in Fall Guys is to win, but I feel like the whole point of that game is to enjoy the journey, like the fun with friends, the freaking hurdles you're going over, that one dude griefing you on the map.
Yep.
Like, when you're only focused on trying to get crowns in that game, the game becomes less fun because you're just focused on the destination, right?
He's totally 100% right on that. The only part where I disagree is the amount of people who are like collecting crowns in Fall Guys. How many of those people realistically exist compared to the people who just want to hop on and play some Fall Guys?
Than the journey. Imagine coming home from a long day of school or work and you're getting sweated on in Fall Guys. Imagine you're over there just trying to chill, you know, you're on this little cutesy game that's like Wipeout, and out of nowhere, TTV Try Hard for Life literally just claps you every single map, and it's like, dude, you can't even have fun anymore.
I think it's important to note too that I don't understand why people let players like that interfere with them having fun. I could care less if somebody better than me beats me. I could care less if some guy trying to become a streamer, the best Fall Guys player, the best Fortnite player ever kills me. I don't understand that. It always goes back to that old tweet that we talked about from Face Sway. And of course, I'm paraphrasing it. I don't know exactly what it said off the top of my head, but he said something to the extent of the downfall of video games. And I always quote this now, like, the downfall of video games came when people cared so much about the good players that they die. They go tell them to get a life, go touch grass, as opposed to just either trying to beat that guy or or sending that person a friend request. Like, that is entirely true. It's the attitude and mindset shift of gamers. What, like, back in the day when people were having fun, nobody would have gotten bothered. Hey, remember when in Prime Fortnite, you remember all those great John Wicks that were walking around? The guys you had absolutely no shot against, the TTV John Wicks. Do you guys remember those? Either the TTV guys or the John Wicks? You had fun either grouping your squad together to try and actually beat that guy, or the fun was running away from them. It's a complete 180 in the mindset of the gamers, like, player base.
And since everyone's tryharding, games are now catering to the bad players. One thing that games have been implementing is this thing called skill-based matchmaking. If you don't know what it is, well, I'll basically explain. Think of a lobby where all the top players from a bunch of different games all get into a lobby with each other and go head to head. Basically ranked play, but with no bonus rewards or anything. You just kind of get into a lobby with the best players without getting any specific reward in casual play. And the thing thing about skill-based matchmaking is that it's unfair because the good players are being punished for being good at the game. And it gets to this point where it's like winning feels like a chore rather than actual fun. Because back then, if you truly wanted to sweat, you would go into like a ranked game mode or something. But now, if you're a tryhard, you're gonna play every single other tryhard 24/7.
But that's because the people can't take losing anymore. People don't like the fact that somebody's better than them at the video game, which is very strange to me.
Just because you're good at the game. Back then, games like Call of Duty, what they would do, you would join a lobby, and if you wanted to leave that lobby, you would just leave it. And if you wanted to stay after the game, you would stay. But now, after a game is finished, they just transport you to a whole different lobby with everyone else who also did good. And it's like, now you gotta go head to head with all the big dogs just because you won one game. I remember Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, that had some of the worst skill-based matchmaking ever. That game was borderline unplayable because if you won one game, you would be playing the freaking Optic roster from freaking 2014.
Now, I personally always found it really fun to come across those guys, and that's why I'm personally against skill-based matchmaking, but I do understand why people like skill-based matchmaking. I like the fact that I can come across those guys where you have absolutely no shot against, and I like the fact that I can come across people that I can just dominate. I think I just find it fun personally, and I know that that's subjective depending on the person, but it's just my opinion on that.
From winning one game. And another way of games catering to bad players, Fortnite adding bots into their games just so you can feel better about yourself. Let's be real.
And people need that though, because people can't take somebody being better at them for some weird reason. And I know I'm going to get the comments too. I already know that I'm going to get the comments where it's like, I'm okay with someone being better than me, but why does somebody have to try so hard? Again, do you not try to win the game? People are just good. It's flawed logic.
It is 2023. Nobody is a default anymore in Fortnite. I mean, back then, yes, there were people who were bad at the game, but nobody is so bad that they're literally running into a wall 24/7.
Well, that has been improving. I don't recall when this game came out, but or this video came out, excuse me, but bots have been rapidly improving in Fortnite.
So now it's like there's no middle ground between the good and the bad players. It's like, if you're good, you're being punished, and if you're bad, you're being rewarded. There's actually this tweet by FaZe Sway that says,
I swear to you guys, I did not watch this video prior to this video. Let's read it.
The downfall of video games started when kids complained about people being good at the game. I remember when I was a kid and saw a Master Prestige in COD, I didn't tell him to take a shower or go outside. I sent that MF a friend request.
This is one of the truest tweets in the entirety of gaming. It's one of the best things that I've read, and I think that people really need to take that to heart.
And that's facts. Instead of actually putting in the work to be good, a lot of people just sit there and complain, and now games are kind of catering to them. But one game that I say that...
And then those people will also be the first people to complain about skill-based matchmaking.
Kind of bridge the middle ground between the really good players and the really bad players is Street Fighter 6. One thing that Street Fighter 6 did, they added something called modern controls and classic controls. Classic controls, basically you have to do more to push out a combo, and if you do that successfully, then that combo does more damage. But if you play modern controls, you only hit square or something and it'll do a full combo, and those combos do less damage. So it kind of bridges the gap between good and bad players. But
interesting. I wonder if anybody plays Street Fighter, please comment down below and let me know how the community really likes that, because I can still see people finding an issue that, well, that just because that guy memorized some buttons doesn't mean he should do more damage than me.
That's a whole fighting game. How can this be fixed in like games that are like FPS or something like that? In my honest opinion, I say that FPS games should just go back to like the regular lobbies, you know? Back then, you could join a lobby, scope out the lobby, see who's like the freaking best players and stuff. And if they were a little too good for your level, you could leave if you wanted to.
Yeah, I always enjoyed that myself as well, and it wasn't even just Call of Duty. A lot of games did that. I don't know if every game did that, but you'd even... the same people would still cry about it, though. It takes me so long to find a game. I don't understand why everybody has to take this game so seriously, when meanwhile, like, they're the ones actually taking it seriously because they're scoping out every single little player that's in that lobby. I don't know if that would necessarily be a fix, because maybe bots were the best thing, because at least they could get a couple kills, and it's better that they complain that they're a little bit bored with the game than they complain about the game being trash and the state of gaming, you know?
Like, I don't think that you should be transported into the freaking universe of the top 12 Call of Duty masters after you win one game. I feel like there should always be that option to stay if you want to stay or leave if you want to leave. There was nothing wrong with those lobbies back then. It's just like games just wanted to cater to the bad players, you know? So it's honestly just like gaming is just honestly a huge sweat fest. And that rounds back to like the ultimate question of this video. Did streamers really ruin gaming? In my honest opinion, yes. I 1000% believe that streamers in esports ruined gaming.
I personally do disagree with that because, like I said, people try to win. People just get better as time goes on. I really do think it's that simple. People just make this a really, really big deal because they had such a fun time in the OG days of Fortnite and they want to cling back onto those feelings really, really bad, unlike on any other game. But this has always been the thing. The vast majority of people in this entire world are not actually trying to be content creators. They're trying to be the best that they can at a game, and they don't sit down and practice. Like people say, I don't have time to sit down and practice this game for 13 hours a day. People don't do that. A very, very teeny tiny part of the population does that, and it has no effect on the general video game culture.
Because there is no reason why people should be sweating at a game where you literally farm cabbages. How do you even sweat in Farming Simulator? How? Let me know in the comments. Do y'all think streamers / pro players ruin gaming? Or like, what's your guys' take on this whole situation? Let me know. But yeah, this is going to wrap up the video. If you guys made this far, I appreciate you. If you guys
and I appreciate you as well, guys. The links for this channel will be in the pinned comment and description down below because I thought it was a really nice laid back video. It brought out like a pretty nice conversation. It was really level-headed. There were points that I'd agree, there were points that I disagreed, and this is where I'd love to leave it up to you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about this entire situation. I cannot wait to, I need to catch up on the comments of the week video, guys, because I like shedding your comments over to light and responding to them whether you agreed or disagreed. I appreciate you guys, like, for real. There's some things that I changed my tune with. There's some things that people comment down, agree with me, disagree with me. I just enjoy the entire process of having you guys drop your thoughts on YouTube. So thank you for your time. Thank you for spending it over here. I appreciate it. Again, thank you for watching. If you want to continue the reaction content, we have another reaction video for you guys to check out right here. I'd love to have you guys over there. Take care.